Today on City Wrestling Radio, Carmelo Hayes has his sights set on the NXT title. We take a look at Vengeance Day 2023. Roman Reigns is set to have a zany detour on his road to WrestleMania. And another name has been announced for Bloodsport 9. We're going to take a look at the huge list of shows happening during Mania weekend. All that and more today on City Wrestling Radio. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to another fabulous, wonderful, spectacular episode of City Wrestling Radio. I'm your host, Korey Smith, being joined by my co-host, the man you all need to start your week off, a daily dose of Mr. Jose Ocegueda.
How's it going, everybody? I'm a little bummed. Because...
Why is that?
Two reasons. Number one reason is WWE 2K and AEW Fight Forever. These guys haven't contacted me yet to review the product. They haven't sent me their exclusive copies. I haven't gotten any information over the mail or email. I'm waiting, guys. Whenever you feel like sending those video games over, PS4, let me know, and we'll get this review going.
They actually have a ton of PS4. Like, yeah, dude, we'll send you like 3 PS4 copies. It's fine. Take them. And there's 3 of us, so that works out. Except
Perfect.
Michael, he has a PS5.
So. Yeah, that guy has all the latest toys.
I'm kidding. But, you know, I think they do like a yearly, for the 2K games, they do those yearly, like, they bring people out to like the Performance Center, and then they usually like show off the game, and then like you can interview... I don't know, like one year it was like Sasha Banks when she was in NXT. One year it was the Street Prof, mostly NXT people. Like you could probably interview Fallon Henley.
Everybody that's easily accessible at the Performance Center. Yeah.
Wendy Chu, you know. Yeah.
I'll keep my opinion to myself on that one. It's not her fault. She's great.
No, I'm sure she's great. She used to be a 1,000-year-old woman, and now she's just napping in a car.
I swear this it reeks of WoW. You know, that show on KBHK 44, Cable 12.
Women of Wrestling. I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
But it's done by the same people, I believe, that did Glow, right?
It has the same feels. Everything feels very glowy.
Except in 2021 or 2023. God, how old am I?
Jeez, you've lost a couple years there.
Well, nonetheless, let's get into it because we got a lot to talk about today. And we're just going to kick it off. We're going to run down Vengeance Day. You know, I'm not going to go through the entire card, or I'll go through the entire card, but I'm not going to give, all that full detail of the show.
You guys don't need play-by-play.
But overall, it was a decent show. It was back to its kind of original NXT takeover format. And what I mean by that is that it was in a building with a huge crowd, which was great.
Guys, give me any reason to watch. Please give me a reason to watch.
And, it felt like an actual, like I said, takeover. The only, one of the downsides is that it didn't have that surprise, like NXT, like, oh my God, is that Dragon Lee in the front row? Oh my God, who is that?
Yeah.
Keith Lee? No, none of that. So, but whatever, it's fine. Speaking of which, Dragon Lee is working on visa issues. But no, I'm not going to talk. We didn't start the Vengeance Day with Dragon Lee nor Keith Lee, but their younger brother Wesley. He defended his NXT North American title against Dijak, who I don't know if you saw the pictures from this after the match, Jose. Did you see his finger?
No,
bent to the side.
Yikes. Oh
yeah. It was funny though, because Dijak he has this whole 1980s Terminator thing going on, but at the same time, it's like this. It's like if Hans Gruber meets the Terminator meets God, this is the guy from Rocky. I will crush you.
Ivan Drago.
Yeah, just mix all 3 of those together, and you got Dijak right there.
All right.
So he came out to this. He came out in all black and white, which was kind of like, all right, is Karrion Kross okay with this? Because he has reserve on the black and white motif.
Yeah, but he's fine.
Just saying.
It's the paycheck speaks louder than words.
The match did eventually end when eventually, what do you call it? Dijak came off the top rope. Lee delivered a super kick to Dijak, leading to a handspring Pele kick for the pin and the win. So, overall, good start to the match. Next, the NXT Women's Tag Team match, which saw Fallon Henley and Kiana James, accompanied by Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs, defeat Katana Chance and Kaden Carter to win the titles. Although the match was impressive athletically, it did lack a little bit of cohesion.
Well, I mean, this is developmental.
The match started with Carter and James in the ring, but soon disrupted by Jensen at ringside. Eventually, it led to a bunch of near falls. James and Henley were able to hit eventually an assisted Michinoku driver for another near fall. The champions attempted their finisher, but James shoved that's Katana Chance, off the rope, allowing Henley to roll up Carter, and James holding Carter's feet down. They won the titles. So, I mean, hey, good on them for winning these titles. They have been pitted as this tag team who don't like each other. Was it not Fallon Henley, but what's the other one's name? It's right here in front of me and I can't pull it up. Kiana James. She's apparently trying to screw over was it one of the Briggs or Jensen? I can never tell which one's which. That's the thing about NXT is like they have these names and you watch them and you're like, that's Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen, and you're like,
they're very generic names, right?
You're like, what? Which one's who? And
Yeah,
like, Briggs, Briggs. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know, but whatever.
yeah. You think these names right now are placeholders, right?
Who? Kiana?
It feels like the whole division. All their names are placeholders until they
Uh-huh.
make it to the main stage, and then they're gonna get like a whole makeover.
Well, I mean, like these. That's the thing is like you don't see people getting too much of a makeover anymore on the main roster, and then again, you haven't really seen anyone get called up
Yeah,
yet on
this
Triple
is
H's.
totally a rookie crew.
Yeah. After that, we had Carmelo Hayes defeating Apollo Crews in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which had Carmelo Hayes win 2-0 up on Apollo Crews.
Damn, how the mighty have fallen.
Well, I don't know what they're doing with Apollo. I mean, maybe he's just like, hey, I'm cool with a paycheck.
Mhm.
That's fine. It's just, I don't
They
know.
never really figured it out. If anybody is gonna be benefiting from independent bookings, is this guy.
Yeah. So despite both wrestlers receiving special entrances and the match having that big match feel, the crowd really didn't get into it, and it kind of peaked at okay. The first fall saw Hayes win after locking in a crossface, making Cruz tap out. The second fall, both wrestlers were knocked out of the ring, but Hayes managed to gain the advantage and win with a diving leg drop. After the match, Daba Kato, you remember him, right?
Daba, yes.
Yeah, Commander Aziz, what do you call it? Apollo Crews' former right hand man, came
Yeah.
in and attacked Apollo Crews after the match. So there is that. Oh, fun. NXT Stand and Deliver announced for Saturday, April 1st. So we'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the show, WrestleMania weekend.
Dragon Lee should be there by then. I will be very interested to see what's going on.
In the NXT Tag Team title match, Gallus emerged as the victorious party after defeating the New Day, Pretty Deadly, and Chase U. It was just nonstop energy. That's the thing. It's like you had 8 guys in there just going nonstop. You had the New Day in there. It was pretty high-paced match. The match started with Kingston and Prince, followed by Woods blind tagging in, chopping Prince down. Pretty Deadly isolated Woods in the corner, but Kingston got the hot tag and ran wild. The New Day hit their finisher, but a brawl broke out on the floor. Gallus tried to put Chase through a table, but Hudson ended up saving him. Gallus sent Hudson through the announcer's table, which led to Kofi Kingston getting cut off. Kofi Kingston cutting off another tag move, but Pretty Deadly caught him on a dive and hit Spilled Milk on the floor. Woods isolated by Gallus, and they hit the double power slam and win. I think Spilled Milk is the perfect name for Pretty Deadly.
Yeah.
because they are fab. My girlfriend hates Pretty Deadly.
Really?
Like she hates them. She just does not. And I don't. It's nothing. She's just like. I think she just is like. You guys don't look good in those.
Mhm.
What do you call it? Midriff shirts that they
Yeah, yeah,
wear.
yeah. Well, she wasn't around when we saw, different English is my second language. Androgynous.
And, yeah,
You know what I mean?
androgyny of
Androgynous.
the
Yes.
androgyny of wrestlers in the
Yeah.
business with characters such as not Rico, Chuck and Billy and Chuck,
Yeah.
such as
Early Ric Flair,
I guess he
Adrian
was
Adonis,
yeah.
the original.
Ric Flair covered that up quickly though. He was like, "No, man, you see me with like these 12 girls."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
don't check their IDs by the way.
Uh, Buddy Rogers back in the day. The barber. What's his name? Beefcake.
Beef
Remember
from
he?
San Francisco.
Yeah, Bill from San Francisco, by the way. Uh, yeah. So we've seen our
We don't
share.
take credit for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Effie wants to say he's from San Francisco, that's fine. We'll take credit for him, but we're not taking credit for Brutus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brother
And
Brutus.
yeah, and then that Prince looking guy that we had. Not
Prince Iakea.
No.
Oh.
Prince
No,
guy,
he wasn't from San Francisco.
No. We're not saying he's from San Francisco, but he was taking that, androgyny. Right?
The Velveteen Nightmare.
Yes.
Yes. He does suck. Yeah. So Gallus, they shock everyone and win the tag title. They shock everyone except for me because if you watched the previous show this last week on the new City Wrestling Radio Nights, it's not really called that. I feel like it should be called that.
Wait, say that again. What should it be called?
City Wrestling Radio Nights, or like,
Mhm.
because you know how there was Baywatch and there was Baywatch Nights,
Yeah.
and it was a totally different feel. Like David Hasselhoff, for some reason, has to work 2 jobs to make a living, so he's like a detective at night.
Part-time lifeguard, part-time private eye.
Next up, we had the NXT Women's Title match. Roxanne Perez retained her title after defeating Gigi Dolan and Jacy Jayne in a triple threat match. Now,
For you.
I will say this: the women worked hard, and the crowd was very invested, but it was a bit clunky at times and seemed a little bit like the women were working in slow motion. It was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, flip, and it was always when it was JC or Gigi working with Roxanne.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's Roxanne. It just seemed like they weren't at the same pace as her.
Yeah. Well, we got to give these guys a mulligan because it's developmental. They're learning.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no, I get it. It just, yeah. I mean,
you want them to step it up at a major event like this. Yeah,
I do. Yes. We've had NXT takeovers before, and I can't say it's a horrible match because like when I was watching it, it was all right. And my girlfriend was like invested in this match. She was in fact like, who is that girl with the plaid on? I like her outfit. I like her. Let me follow her on social media. And I was like, yeah, her name's Roxanne Perez. Go ahead and follow her. So it wasn't horrible. It was just, like I said, disjointed, clunky, and not.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. Eventually, Perez hit the pop rocks on Dolan. That's on the floor, and then hit one on Jane off the top rope, securing the victory and her title retention.
Cool.
Main event time. Braun Breaker defeated Grayson Waller in a steel cage match to retain the NXT title. Again, despite the hype of this match, the crowd never really seemed to get super into it. I never understood why this was put in a steel cage because, like their last match, the ropes just broke, and it was just.
That's why.
Well,
they're so aggressive that they break rings.
Like have a ropeless match, like a blood sport match,
Yeah, well, we've seen that experiment done before.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, have what do you call it? A fight pit match.
Yeah. Remember when they had those backstage segments?
Which ones?
When they stripped the ring and like it was filled with just like it was like Fight Club.
Oh God, yeah.
And Dolph Ziggler was involved a couple times.
Yeah, it was Shane McMahon. He did. It was like Raw, like Underground.
Yeah.
Dude, they should have made that a video. That would have been a cool video game, like a fighting game called Raw Underground, where it's just like the wrestlers, but it's a fighting game.
They should have kept it at that. Yeah.
And it would have made sense because then, like, you could have made guys in the game like Omos or Almos like seem ridiculously strong, and no one would have argued it because it's a fucking fictional fighting game.
Yeah, and then you can have cool like alternate uniforms or fits and give Dave Bautista a lamp for no reason.
Yeah, and you would still be making money off it because Selena Vega would come out with a new downloadable content costume pack every freaking week.
Fucking win.
Okay, so where was
Steel
I?
cage match. You don't know why.
Yeah. Waller eventually climbed to the top of the cage, but Breaker followed him up, superplexed him off the top. Breaker hit a spear, pulled down his straps because it's serious when Breaker pulls those straps down.
Anybody, if you wear a singlet, you make it a point to pull down the straps when you're serious.
I does it like restrict him that much to the point where he's like, you know what, just
everyone, dude. His
full
uncle,
power.
His uncle, Kurt Angle,
Kurt Hennig.
Everyone. If you wore that wrestling singlet, you meant business when you took it off.
Yeah. Okay. So remember the time I think we were watching something, and then I always noticed Kurt Hennig was always wearing two singlets. I never understood that.
Okay. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Anyways, Breaker retains the title. After the match, though, Carmelo Hayes comes out and stared down Breaker as the show went off the air. So it looks like we're going to be getting Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker, which I do think will be a title change at Stand and Deliver.
I would like to say finally, but they need a real big rock as the foundation of NXT right now. And
you want the Rock?
No, a Rock.
Yeah.
And I think Braun is the only one that could do it right now.
No, definitely. It's funny too because I think when he came out, people were like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like, what Braun Breaker?" And now, like,
Braun.
And now everyone is like wearing like neon colored shirts, like Subas, and
the whole show is based out of his his gimmick.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens coming up this week on NXT. The fallout to that. Keep tuned. Me and Michael will cover it to some extent.
I'll give it a listen, see what you guys tell me when Dragon Lee shows up. I'll jump on board.
Will do. SmackDown.
Cool.
So the show kicked off with the SmackDown Tag Team number one contenders tournament finals. Ricochet and Strowman versus Imperium with Gunther. The ring General Gunther. I know, it's ridiculous.
Did you see the pictures of him back in the day when he first got started?
Which one?
Like when he had blue hair.
He's had blue hair. He's had green hair.
Well, it was like an evolution. He had it was like 6 pictures. One was blue.
Oh yeah. You saw the same ones I did. Yeah, man, that guy's really come a long way. He's really changed his whole body. He used to be really overweight and have a smile. See, that's the thing is he had a smile when he was overweight, and then he lost the weight. He was happy.
He was happy eating whatever he wanted. Yeah. Now that his diet is restricted, he's a little chip on his shoulder.
He's just pissed off all the time. He just wants to chop everyone.
Fucking Kale again.
Yeah. So I mean, I know, good for him. That's years of progression, though. Those pictures are probably from like early to mid 2010s and stuff like that.
Yeah. He had a baby face, man.
He still does.
For his age,
It was a bit surprising that Ricochet and Strowman won the tournament since they weren't initially entered, but hey, there you go. The match started with Strowman dominating Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, but Imperium regrouped at ringside and Gunther managed to gain control for some time. However, Ricochet and Strowman fought back and won the match with a monster bomb from Strowman and a swanton bomb from Ricochet. It's going to be next week. Ricochet and Strowman will take on the Usos. Well, apparently we'll take on the Usos for the some tag titles, either SmackDown. I think it's probably just SmackDown, my guess. Yeah. But with so much uncertainty surrounding the Usos, now Wade Barrett kind of went on and was like, now this is like the ideal time to go after the Usos. And like, no, you don't. There's Solo Sikoa. They've made precedents for this,
Yeah.
But Jose, what do you think Braun and Rico's chances are at becoming the tag team champs?
Well, there's a bloodline kink in the armor. We know that, but I don't see Usos losing it anytime soon. Well, maybe soon. Not to these guys,
Yeah.
but I've been wrong before. This Uso storyline is the bloodline storyline is still going strong. So if anything, Solo fills the role of Jay, or Jay shows up, they win the match, but it's going to be somewhat contentious.
Maybe he walks in, defends the titles, and then walks right out.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
So I did my part. I'm out of here.
I mean, I honestly think it's going to end up being Solo Sikoa filling the spot because, like I said, a couple weeks ago they had Sami Zayn fill in for, was it Jimmy
Yeah,
Uso?
it's laid out for them. Yeah.
So they've kind of already set it up. And then the fact that Ricochet and Strowman were this whole tag team tournament thing just seems weird to me. Like it's like they did this tournament and they seemed like they were setting up Sheamus and McIntyre to win, which I felt like would have been okay. If you weren't going to do KO and Sammy, those would have been good contenders for the tag team titles. But then all of a sudden
Viking Warriors
they
interrupt
just
the whole thing.
yeah, they just left the tournament and they were like, someone hit us backstage, so we're gonna just give a chance. Like we're gonna give up these chances at
Mhm.
gold, at more money. I mean, I'm kayfabe, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
that's what they're supposed to be fighting for, and that's what a title is. And
Yeah. This has given me a big sense of let's just fill in the gaps for now until after Elimination Chamber.
it's taking a piece of paper and filling a hole, like you said
Yeah.
earlier.
Mhm.
Next we have like probably my favorite part of the show second favorite part because I do love the bloodline stuff. The highlights of the Rey Mysterio and Dom Mysterio NASCAR clash at the Coliseum.
Jesus Christ. Uh-huh.
This was fucking great, dude.
It was
So
funny,
you
dude.
had Rey Mysterio with the New Day on one end and the Judgment Day show up on the other, and it was sans Rhea Ripley. She's not there. And then you had a couple of like NASCAR guys. I didn't write down their names. One of the commentators, one of the drivers, one of the former driver or like legends or whatever. And Dom and Ray talk crap back and forth, and then they eventually quote unquote race each other, which like you never saw them actually racing. It
No, they
just
were riding passenger. They were riding shotgun.
yeah, because it's like you see them get in the car, and it's like all right, and then all of a sudden you see like these like drone shots of the cars driving around
Yeah.
the laps.
No, dude, no, there was one shot where they show Ray inside the car, like getting gassed up, like, yeah, yeah. Then goes to the driver and says, good job, man. What?
But dude, I don't know. I just love this Dom stuff. But like during the segment, like I said, there was a whole like kind of heated exchange back and forth. Ray did win the race, so
Mhm.
good on that. And this is something good to do when Ray is apparently injured. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like he's not wrestling, but he's still competing with. He's still competing.
Yeah, show him on screen. Yeah.
Yeah. But so what do you? He's and Dominic also pointed out that he would have won if Mommy was there,
Yeah,
which
okay.
we all would win if Mommy was there.
Yeah, little road. Never mind.
But so I think Jose, I think Dom is showing a lot of potential nowadays, especially since like he kind of separated as a tag team from his father. Do you
Mhm.
think this is like a result of working with Damian Priest and Finn Balor, or do you think this is just kind of where he was always going to go?
No, I think he's been watching a lot of Uncle Eddie tapes.
Yeah.
If you notice, he's been picking up a lot of mannerisms and a lot of little hooks that Eddie had. I think he's learned a lot, and a lot of times you need to go heel to really let that inner self thrive,
Yeah.
which is
That
needed, right?
creativity. Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely think he's tapping into that way, and then eventually, everybody, well, not everyone, but eventually, this guy will turn face again, and it'll be a better response as a face. But I like this beginner heel role; he's doing great.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's definitely come.
I especially like the fake gangster stuff because he. Oh my
Oh
god!
yeah, he's like say because because like they're in the cars when they're driving. That's for sure. Like you said, they're
Yeah.
passenger probably,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
because you could hear them talking on the headsets in between, and like Dom saying something like, "I learned how to drive after talking to a getaway driver in jail.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And what do you call it?
He said, when you did hard time like me, he spent the night in the drunk tank, and he's acting like he did 20 years.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah,
And
I love it.
like honestly, one of the like what did they call that this show where it was like
Scare straight.
no,
Oh,
no, I do love how Cody Rhodes said that on Raw when he was like, "Hey Dom, are you trying to scare me straight?" Like,
yeah.
but it was like that show where it was like 3 or 4 wrestlers and they were driving to the next town and it was just the camera in the car. Like it's just it was like a WWE Network show,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and it was just like it'd be like Roman, Seth, and Dean
Yeah,
Ambrose.
right along.
There we go. I would love to see a ride along about Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio, and Rhea
Oh,
Ripley
yeah, that would be hilarious.
just traveling from town to town, and just because I do think like he is probably learning a lot from those three. And because all three are at different levels of the business. You have Finn Balor, who's like pretty much the aged vet at this point,
Been everywhere. Yeah.
and he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's not like somebody who's like over cocky. He's not somebody who is trying to overly get himself over. He's somebody
Mhm,
who plays his part and does it well. So
mhm,
Damian Priest, who has wrestled in Ring of Honor as Punishment Martinez, and then you have Rhea Ripley, who is just kind of like the younger of the three. So
mhm.
I think it's great for him. The match between Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville, it was there,
I like Sonya now than as opposed to what she used to be.
Sonya,
Like, yeah, like post NXT.
yeah. Oh yeah, when she was just the fake MMA fighter.
Yeah. Dude, this is 100 times better.
During the match, Michael Cole did make mention of the passing of Lanny Poffo. But
Mhm.
Jose, do you have any like thing you want to say about the passing of Lenny Poffo? Like
The
any
genius.
the genius, any memories of watching him on TV?
Used to love watching him on TV. I used to love the frisbees. I used to love the poetry in the back of the frisbees, and then sharing it with the crowd. I don't know what that had to do with being a genius, but I loved it. He every day he graduated, every Saturday morning, he was dressed in his best cap and gown, an honorary PhD of the wrestling world. Um, really, really cool jobber. I mean, if anybody can elevate talent, it was Mr. Poffo. I wish he was a little bit more pushed
Yeah.
in that era, right? But everybody had a role back then.
Oh, he was the era of Hogan and his brother Randy Macho Man Savage. I mean, how far to the top of the card? Even people like Rowdy Piper were never world champion. Because of
Yeah,
that.
you're right. Yeah, I think he went after the IC title a couple times.
Yeah. And I mean,
You know,
Poffo did technically defeat Hogan on, was it in 85, 89, 80 something, 80 question mark. There you go.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, Hogan was feuding with Kurt Hennig, and like Hennig like destroyed the title or something like that. I
Mm.
think that was the title he destroyed that eventually ended up becoming the hardcore title. And that was
Oh,
Night Lanny
okay.
Poffo. Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Uh
Well, he's definitely connected to my introduction into professional wrestling. I would say that.
The match start. Oh, so Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. The match started with Flair in control with a shoulder tackle and a flying crossbody, but Deville soon dominated with a devastating hair slam and rocked Flair with a pump kick. However, Flair fought back with hard chops and a back suplex and a big boot and even a figure 8 for the win. Because that's what you guys got to do it.
Yeah, Charlotte recently did an interview where she said this time, as a face, she was going to go all in. She was going to try the hardest she's ever tried to be a face. And you can tell by that backstage interview, she's trying to pull the more babyface attitude. She's not coming off as smug, not even a smidgen.
Really?
Wait and see. Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Did
I
you see that backstage interview? She was trying very hard not to be
She was trying,
Charlotte.
yeah.
She was, that's her words. She's going to
Yeah,
try
no,
so
yeah.
hard to be a babyface.
I just, I mean, good on her for doing that. That's great. I see somebody who is labeled the queen, Charlotte Flair, and somebody who doesn't have any struggles as a character, somebody who is athletically gifted like
Mhm.
that. It's hard to cheer for them. I mean, it really is. I'm not going to sit here and say most wrestling fans aren't at the same. No, I can't say it. Most wrestling fans are not at the same athleticism as Charlotte Flair. That is point blank true.
If I said 97%, I wouldn't be lying.
Exactly. Yeah. If I was 3%.
Sorry, guys, I'm with you. I'm with you guys. I'm sorry.
So it's just I need to see her struggle somehow. I need to see her struggle and somehow like
Lose her superpowers a little bit.
Yeah, overcome adversity in some way or another. You know what I mean? Because right now she's just Ric Flair's daughter, who is super, like I said, athletically gifted, and she just
I think she definitely shook off the Ric Flair's daughter stigma. She's her own person, but she's a super. I don't want to say super hero, but you know she's like a superhuman. So
no,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right in that sense.
Next up, we're back in the backstage in the Bloodlines locker room. Roman Reigns is eager. He's very eager to get an update on Jay from Jimmy Uso. With the crucial title match approaching next week, the tag team titles. Reigns expressed his frustration about Jay's unavailability, telling Jimmy, like, man, this guy doesn't even call you. He doesn't even text. Like, he doesn't even care about you, Jimmy.
Yeah. One thing to walk out, but to not call.
I was hoping Jimmy would kind of like step up for Jay a little bit, but not like, but kind of just be like, I try, I try. Well, he's probably didn't, he probably had something going on. And Roman
kind of did that. He did a little bit of that. So Jay, he just needs to chill sometimes.
Yeah. I just I want to see where this goes. I mean, I do like eventually it's just going to lead to
Mania.
Yeah, to Mania, to the Usos and KO and Sami. So
it's gonna be a Mania surprise.
Next up, the Viking Raiders versus the Brawling Brutes.
Can I just say one more time that I'm not a big fan of cosplay and wrestling in the year 2023? That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
unless it's Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega could get away with it all day.
Well, did you hear? Apparently, she's like the new like commentating team for Street Fighter or something.
Yeah, I got a homie at work that put me on that. While that character that she portrayed at Rumble, yeah, she's doing like the voiceover work or the commentator work for that character, and maybe others. I don't know, but I just saw that specific character.
Wait, commentator work for that character?
Like, whoa, look at, she did a backflip. Whoa, she's coming back. She was serious this time.
Oh, that's
like that type of thing.
I thought they were gonna put it like an actual commentary team on the like, oh, she went for the uppercut. She's really fighting hard in this game.
That's kind of what she's doing. I only heard that specific character, so I don't know if she's doing the whole game across the board.
Well, according to Wade Barrett, Zelina Vega will be the Michael Cole of Street Fighter.
Oh, there you go. All right.
So that solves everything. That answers all of your questions.
That's a fun gig.
That's I mean, it probably is. I'm glad nowadays it probably is. Or
it's easy work, but just a little bit of voiceover work. Here, say these 100 lines.
Yeah. Oh, those weren't good. Let's go ahead and do it again.
Yeah.
And again, please. And again.
Oh, my bad. Do it one more time. I did something wrong with the computer.
Yeah. So we weren't recording over here. Sorry about that. We're gonna need to do them again.
Oh, how many times have you heard that?
How many times have I said that? So Ivar and was it Eric and Ivar versus Butch and Ridge. I don't know. These matches are they're fun. They're good matches, and I love Butch, and he's actually now he is Butch. He's no longer Pete Dunne. We've all accepted it. You know what I mean? We've all gotten past it.
But I mean, come on, he's still portraying Pete Dunne, right?
Oh yeah, he's still the same person.
Yeah. But it's just the name changing.
Yeah, he's not like coming out like what was he like? He was like a rabid animal for a minute.
Yeah, I'm glad he got rid of that fur. That was not good.
Oh, that was weird. Yeah, that was a little weird. Eventually, the Viking Raiders were victorious after hitting Ragnarok on Butch. That you could say that because it's mythological. Marvel doesn't own that term.
They don't.
After the match, the recently broken up over social media, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus come down and brawled with the Viking Raiders. So okay, like they said that like WrestleMania week or Rumble weekend was the last time they were going to team.
Guess not.
Okie dokie. Elimination Chamber Fatal 4 qualifying match saw your favorite Natalia defeat Shotzi, Shayna Baszler, and Zelina Vega, the new voice of Street Fighter 12. 6.
I think.
Natalia won in 7 minutes and 16 seconds, and that is very important because I'm going to quiz you on that at the end of the year. The match had it's like what was that that one movie See No Evil starring Kane? March 19th. I think it was March 19th.
It might have been. Oh my god.
The match had a typical WWE 4-way format with the two wrestlers battling in, two wrestlers out. This match wasn't spectacular, nor was it bad in either way, though. The storyline focused primarily on Natalia seeking revenge on Baszler for breaking her nose 3 months ago. Natalia and Shotzi started fighting to reach Baszler, with Vega pulling Shotzi out and sending her into the barricade. Natalia and Vega went one-on-one, with Vega hitting a code red, but Baszler breaking up the pin. Baszler caught Natalia with a jumping knee, similar to the one that broke her nose a couple months ago.
Hey guys, just a little secret. Her nose was broken years ago. Well,
she had to get it re-broken to fix it, right?
Yes. Because it was like this for like for years.
My nose, you could probably see it, but my nose technically goes kind of like this because I fell on my face a couple years ago.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Anyways.
So you can see it in the old episodes of Divas. Her nose has been busted for a long time.
So Baszler locked in the Carafona clutch on Natalia, but Natalia broke free and caught Vega in a sharpshooter for the win. So she is going to the Elimination Chamber. Next, we had Roman in the Bloodline. They're looking for Jay. Roman gives Solo and Jimmy the night off, tells them to go eat sushi and enjoy the night. Eventually, Roman Reigns comes out to the ring, and that's when he said Sami Zayn was just like everyone else that's been in front of him. They all just want something from the tribal chief. And that's when Sami Zayn attacks Roman Reigns, and leading to Roman and the Bloodline beating the shit out of Sami Zayn.
Once again.
So what do you think of the storyline right at this point, Jose, the Bloodline storyline? Because I don't know. I thought this was going to be used to build up Sami Zayn and kind of make him look a little bit more credible. Maybe give Roman a haluva kick and knocking him out. But this kind of did the opposite for me.
It did. And then all this people want everything from me or whatever he's saying.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of that. I still have faith that this is going somewhere. I still have faith that we're going to be, we're going to be popping like crazy at the end of this. Wait and see, please, fingers crossed. Yeah, because I love this. I've loved it for a long time. So
it's great. It's just funny with wrestling storylines. You're just like eventually like, oh, this is about to end.
Yeah, unless it's NWO.
But I mean, Sami Zayn is like those chants for Sami on Friday Night SmackDown were, I'm gonna say, similar to Daniel Bryan chants a couple years ago or 10 years ago.
Yeah, he has to be the most over. I don't want to say thing, but this is the most over thing, and Sami's the most over person.
Absolutely,
in all of pro wrestling right now. Absolutely. All of pro wrestling.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, I guess next Friday night, but it has been confirmed that Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns, Montreal at Elimination Chamber for the undisputed Universal title. What do you think about that? Like, I don't know. I just feel like we all know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say oh, in wrestling, good storylines are supposed to make sense, and they're supposed to make sense, but I don't feel like they should be super obvious like that.
Yeah, no, this is going to be run-in central. There's going to be 1,000 run-ins happening at this. Don't be surprised if a Cody shows up and does a run-in. Don't be surprised if
Cody will come out after.
Don't be surprised. That'll be kind of even, right? If you have
Cody and Kevin Owens,
Yeah, that'll kind of make the odds even. So you'll probably get that, and then probably get a match on Raw, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, the Raw match will probably be Sammy, and Cody versus Jimmy J and Solo.
Hmm.
I'm guessing.
Yeah,
So,
or even Roman,
I mean, yeah, no, yeah, you're right. It could be Jimmy J and Roman versus Cody.
or if they're still doing the J thing, it could be Jimmy, Solo, and Roman.
I mean, hey, Alpha and Sika could come back and join The Rock, and they could
Yeah.
be. So I mean, how SmackDown? Good show. Next up, another name announced for Bloodsport during
Ooh.
WrestleMania weekend. Former GCW champion John Moxley has been confirmed to compete at GCW Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 9. This is his 5th time at the annual event. Moxley has competed for the promotion on October 2022 when he lost the GCW title to Nick Gage. This event will take place on March 30th at the Ukrainian Cultural Center in Los Angeles, California. Be streamed on Fight TV. Mox is 3-1 in his record at GCW. And Bloodsport's set to feature. So his victories are over Chris Dickinson, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and Biff Busick, with one loss to Josh Barnett. So I don't know. This also has Kota Ibushi on the card,
How can you wait to say that?
featuring Speedball. I'm like, well, we talked about it earlier in the week. That's why it wasn't my number one takeaway. But there's also like a ton. I just pulled this up on a different website. Just like all the shows that are happening WrestleMania weekend. Like
Mhm.
they start Wednesday, March 29th. Pandemonium Pro Wrestling, Santino Brothers on Thursday, Crimson Crown Wrestling, which is having a multiple shows on that Thursday. DDT Pro goes Hollywood, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Strong Style Evolved,
Dude, I'm tired already.
GCW for the Culture, GCW, Jimmy Lloyd's Generation F, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, DDT versus GCW, ROH Supercard of Honor, Prestige Wrestling, SmackDown Hall of Fame, Millennium Pro Wrestling, Joey Janela's Spring Break, Wrestling Pro Wrestling, which if you haven't heard of Wrestling Pro Wrestling, this is called Wrestling Pro Wrestling presents Wrestle Crow Wrestling WrestleMania. Oh, please let Russell Crowe be there.
Not even a little bit.
It's called WrestleMania 3, man.
With a W?
Oh, no.
Oh, damn it.
GCW Emo Fight, New Fear City Murder Mania, NXT Stand and Deliver, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, WrestleMania Saturday Night, GCW Gringo Locos, The World on Lucha 2, WrestleMania Night 2, Raw. I mean, that's just to name a few. So, Jose, I mean, I ask you all that, but I know your plans aren't set for WrestleMania week, and I'm pretty sure you're going to watch Mania because I'm going to force you to. But
okay.
what are you looking forward to? Are you going to order another show? Are you going to watch any of these other things?
I'll probably steal a couple of these shows. I'm not
There you
ashamed
go.
to say it.
Yeah.
Check my IP address. I'll let you in on the secret. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this, man. This is a great post-birthday celebration. My birthday's on March 28th. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
No.
So
what you're saying is if the fans out there or if the person at home watching this wants to start a Kickstarter to get you to all the shows, they can go ahead and do that, is what you're saying.
Yeah, or you know what? You could even go old school, put them on VHS. I'll watch them, I promise you.
Yeah, send them in a P.O. box.
Yeah, old school style.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, what do you look forward to? Like when Mania comes around, are you cooking? Are you ordering? Do you have a special plan for Mania weekend? Because honestly, for me, it really is a whole experience. I'm either night one, I'm ordering a pizza. Night two, I'm getting a burrito. You know what I mean? It's different. I got to have chips and onion dip both nights because that's just what I do during wrestling pay-per-views.
Yeah, no, I discovered a new take on buffalo wings.
Okay.
A buffalo chicken dip. Ho, 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 ho.
There you
So,
go.
shred up a bunch of chicken, mix it up with some blue cheese and some Franks,
There you go. Yeah.
maybe some cream cheese in there. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe feeling a little excited.
I feel like we
Yeah.
need to have like a full WrestleMania preview this year, like complete with like we need to hit up Renee Paquette and we got to get some ideas for like, well, maybe not for Mania because she works for AEW now, but like,
Yeah.
like get a chef on, like what are some good, side it's a good idea.
Let's go. Let's do
Good
it.
idea, Korey. And you know what? Like I said, pizza, from Tony's in San Francisco. If you don't order from Tony's
you
Napolitano,
want to go all out.
hey, Slice House by Tony's. Everyone,
Mhm.
everyone who's not from San Francisco has turned off this podcast at this point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Mania weekend. But it's going to be a long one because, like I said earlier, we've talked about this many times before. Earlier in the month, we're going to be at Revolution. That weekend that's stacking up to be a huge weekend as well. Because, like I said before, I was talking about this months ago. I said, "Oh, what about this? What about that? Maybe we'll have a second show." Max Caster is now doing a fucking show at DNA Lounge.
Dude, I'm honestly considering going.
Like I
was turned off by the idea at first. I'm like, I'm gonna go see him do one song. But you know what? I'm kind of warming up to the idea of going back to DNA Lounge, which I haven't been to in a very long time, and checking out a show, a rap show.
It's probably the best time to go there because it's going to be 98% of that crowd is going to be all wrestling fans.
Yeah, the only thing that's a negative, it's all ages.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
They still serve they still serve though?
They still serve. They just give you a wristband or something like that too,
Well, I'm looking forward to that, like I said, because I got tickets to Dynamite, not Rampage, but West Coast Pro Wrestling that Saturday night, which just announced their women's title match to crown their first women's champion, Masha Slamovich versus Sandra Moon, with the title presentation by one Lita. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about does it here for us today at City Wrestling Radio. Let's
finish it.
Hey, you know what? When I had to go back and record another intro afterwards, it's fine. It's fine. It's better not to kill the show today with this new segment.
No, we'll save it for another day.
Vet it out a little bit. Vet it out.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna get out of here for City Wrestling Radio. I'm Korey Smith,
Mr. Kenny Omega, Mr. Tony Khan. If you're hearing, I'm available for reviews. Shoot me that video game.
Yes.
Whoever does the marketing over at WWE, 2K is a great franchise. I would love to review the game. Shoot it to me.
And I will say this: I do love the Mattel figures over the Jazzware figures. So that's my hot take right there. Whoa.
All right.
Whoa. Just saying, bro. All right. We're going to get out of here. I'm Korey Smith.
I'm Jose Ocegueda.
We'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful day. Take care and see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Guys, if you do like City Wrestling Radio, please take a moment to stroke our fragile egos and click the like and subscribe and even possibly the share button. We really do appreciate it. It does help out the show. And hey, the bigger we get, the more news you got coming down. So help us help you. All right. Like, share, subscribe, click it down below. Thank you.